Hi, it's Francis here. Last time I recorded my video, but it didn't finish, so I figured that I had to record it for my record and also for the assignment that we were asked to do. Originally, I'm working on a course, Introduction on Multiculturalism and Multilingual Education. So in that class, I'm trying to teach the challenges that students as well as educator and policymaker face when dealing with multicultural students, including their parents, their community, and the new environment that they live in. What are the tips that can be useful for teachers and policymakers to use when it comes to dealing with multilingual and multicultural students? However, for the purpose of this class, I chose to work on a unit that I will be teaching this fall. And the unit is the effective use of cell phone. I was asked by two school districts to uh, help them teach ELL students and newcomers who are 12th graders. They will enter to the college, but they have seen that there was a problem with the cell phones that the students were using in the classroom. So they were given cell phones as well as tablets for their learning, but the administration and teachers have seen that students were not using their cell phones for their learning. They were using it for texting, calling, and it was a source of distraction. So instead of using the punitive measures, administration have chosen to use a more comprehensive and educational ways to help those students navigate technology and then use it effectively for their learning. So I developed this unit and I wanted to use this classroom, this course that we're taking this summer to frame my unit. So the unit will be for 4 weeks, and I'm hoping that it will go well with the new students. So first of all, for the desired results, so I'm using the same framework, the UBD framework, to teach the course. And one of the reasons why I like this UDB is because it helps you stay focused. You start the class with the end in mind. You already know what you're looking for, and you're just looking for strategies, tips, content that can help you reach your goal. So I really love it. So you already have the desired results in mind, and you're working with that for students to understand what you already have. Of course, it might change throughout the time. So the goal, I use the Common Core State Standard, I use WIDA, and I also use the Next Generation State Standard. So those goals, those standards, are to help guide teachers when they are taking uh, a route of teaching a class. So you still need to have a goal, just as the Holly was telling us here about um, defining a goal of what you're trying to reach at the end. The same as in schools, they give us standards in which you have to follow, and then at the end you can measure the results of what you were looking for at the end. For the understanding, I know that students will understand the importance of using their cell phone responsibility before in the classroom. here what I mean is, yes, they have to use their cell phones, but why have they been given those cell phones? What's the reason why students, the administration have initiated this lesson? Why did they choose somebody to come talk about cell phones, which is obvious for everybody that they can use it? But why do we have to talk about it again in the classroom? So for the session question I asked was, is using a cell phone in the classroom necessary? Why or why not? I wanted to start with that question because I don't want it to be confrontational. Like I come here to teach you what you need to do, or I'm coming here to show you the way. No, I wanted it to be a conversation. All of them have tablets. All of them have cell phones. So how do we how do we use the tools we have effectively in order um, to reach the goals of students as well as teachers? Because students go to school to learn, teachers go to school to teach and to help students understand their learning. So that's the basic. As I mentioned before, I'm using Common Core, I'm using WIDA standard, and I'm using the next generation science standard. So those standards are considered goal that I am trying to reach. And within these doors, the acquisition students they'll know is that cell phones should be used responsibly in the classroom. They have to also learn, because we're talking about history, the life of Martin Cooper, who is the inventor of the cell phone, and what was his motivations to invent the cell phone. And then we'll learn also the evolution of the cell phone since its invention. What was the idea behind it, and how to use the cell phone in case of emergency, how to use different techniques and strategy to advertise for a product, because at the end I'm trying to have them um, develop a marketing strategy, because I want the class to be really interactive. So we'll have so many activities that can help them at the end when they have their project to uh, bring everything that will be taught in the classroom within the 4 weeks. And then at the end, they'll be able to differentiate between the fact and opinion. They'll be able to avoid cyberbullying, because this is also one of the issues that the administration mentioned. And then they'll be able to engage effectively in a bunch of collaborative discussions, because at the end, the common assessment will be the them using a radio show where we'll have participants who will use their cell phone to call. We'll also have participants who will send tweets. We'll have participants who would text, and then we'll have leaders or advertisers who will answer their phone calls and who will answer those messages. So I want to use the cell phones as a tool to teach them how to use it effectively, but not as a source of distraction. So then, the assessment evaluation criteria, I have planned to have the old cell phones. I'm actually looking for them. I have the Venn diagrams. I have the phone timeline, and I have the myself. I'll use the informal observation, and then group participation. I'll try to bring them together to work as a group so that everything that will be said can be corrected or helped by other students. Then we'll discuss how people's wants and needs for communication have changed, how to make advertisement video, how to make a poster. Then we'll have debates together. Then they'll draw pictures of the problems as well as solutions of the cell phone used. So this is the mini lesson plan that I have with them. So I plan to have for 4 weeks. I'll have 3 weeks. I actually have a calendar of lessons that will be taught, as well as the final assessment, which will be a radio show, as I mentioned it earlier. I hope I was effective and I can get some feedback from you. That would be really appreciated. Thank you.